And good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wrong Side Simulations, bring the best content from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. And as always, my name is Blake, and I'm a real-world flight dispatcher. I'm going to bring you a little more context to your flight sim viewing experience. And good early morning to you guys. I don't know if I've ever started a stream at 3 o'clock in the morning. I even skipped the gym for this, which is not saying much because I don't really like going to the gym. But I really wanted to do a first look stream of Palm Beach, as I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people who would be interested in the airport and would like to see it. So I wanted to do that. And then in the process of getting that process going, I saw on FS Elite that Inibuilds 320 was back in the beta build. And I was like, oh shit, I've been waiting for this day for quite a little while. Like, so we're going to have us a slammeroo of a early morning stream, taking a first look at the Palm Beach airport. I already have a few things that I want to say. We are literally seeing this together for the first time. All I did was bring my camera out, take a screenshot for the thumbnail, and that's all I've seen of it, other than the little intro that we just did. So yeah, I want to take a first look at that. Want to see kind of the capabilities of the Inibuilds 320 Neo, and I figured we'll take a little hop up to Atlanta. I believe the weather is low IFR right now, so the flying an ILS was an issue with the first beta build that was out to the public. It could not fly a loke or a glide slope, so I was like, you know what, let's try an ILS. And not only shall we try an ILS, but let's try an Autoland while we're at it. So that's the three main things that we're going to be taking a look at on this stream. Palm Beach, the 320 Neo, can it even fly an ILS and or Autoland? And that's what we're going to find out. So as always, I do want to try to move somewhat quickly on this one. I'd have to get up early, go get a haircut before going to work tomorrow. So we're going to speed through some of the stuff. But as always, and most importantly amongst everything in streaming, the shout out to the members, which as always is going to be Captain Nate, 226 Enforcement, Cody, Kieran Anderson, Plain Nuts, Buckeye Flies, Zotto, AJJ, Josh Sue Falls, Kieran, Captain Shaquille, Oatmeal, Cole Bay, Rev, Alvin, O'Neill, Abdelio, Nabil, Big Ralph, Drew Stone, J Foot, VR Sim Pilot, Marco, Zach Winnick, Image Seeker, Shadow Dark, Brett Smith, Andrew, Jose, Wes, Skyfall, Zolt, Gavin Chapman, Bravo Charlie, Zach Hamilton, Hillbilly Gypsy, Ford Contour, Callie Simmer, D Champ, Dustin, and last but not least, Pilot Porter. Huge shout out to those guys, as always. Love y'all very, very much. Thank you for the support. And over to the chat, we got Josh in the house on this early morning 3 a.m. stream. A 320 Neo fan. I'm a 320 Neo fan as well. In fact, fancy little tidbit for y'all that are in the chat right now. This very airplane, November 987 November Kilo, I delivered this airplane. Pretty cool. So if you ever see any Spirit airplanes that are November 963 and up, including the 321 Neos, yours truly played a part in bringing that airplane home. In fact, I have another one coming on Tuesday, November 717 November Kilo, coming from Hamburg, Germany to Detroit for induction. But I delivered this airplane, and it's always just super fucking cool to see an airplane that I had a hand in bringing home in the sim and able to go fly it around. So anyways, cool little fact. But 320 Neo fan, welcome to the stream, my friend. Great to see you. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. AJJ is in the house. What's going on, dude? Great to see you. Good morning to you. See, Brian's in the house as well. And early good morning to you as well, my good friend. Drew Stone, what's happening, dude? Success is not guaranteed, but the effort is. Depends on the individual. I know plenty of people that don't even put in the effort. But good morning to you, man. Great to see you. JJ Stevens, I think we need more 320s. Dude, I'm telling you. There's no shortness of 320s in this sim, but it is very interesting though to see the difference in the quality and the different features that all of them have. You know, from the Latin VFR airplanes to being like, you can couple in the fly-by-wire cockpit and it gets a little bit better. They're flyable. Then you got the fly-by-wire, which, you know, has its own features and things that it can do. Printing out shit. It's kind of cool, right? But then yet you have an airplane like Phoenix that is like the high fidelity study level airplane, and yet it can't print anything, at least not yet. And then you get this airplane. And I know, like, for example, fly-by-wire. Can't pull out the tray table, can't use the footrest. Phoenix, you can pull out the tray table, but you can't pull out the footrest. This airplane, I believe you can do both. So it's just really interesting. Like, you would think that with all the different Airbuses, that all the different features that have come before, developers would be including, but whatever. I do look forward to the day that we have 321 Neos, because I'm quite the fan of the 321 Neo, and then obviously 319 IE engines. I am a huge Airbus fan, but I will recognize the fact that there are a shit ton of Airbuses. It's just really weird, because in other sims, and like especially earlier days of other sims, like Prepared, for example. I came from Prepared. I never was a big X-Plane person. I did dabble in it for a little bit when Microsoft Flight Sim first came out, and I started streaming, but yet there was, you know, a lack of airplanes in Microsoft Flight Sim. Dabbled in the X-Plane world for quite a bit, but in Prepared was very, very, very Boeing heavy. 75, 76, 73, 727, 747, 777, 787, just about any Boeing you could want, for the most part, was in Prepared. And it was really lacking Airbuses, and now it's kind of flippity-flopped. Thankfully, we got PMDG, we got Bluebird coming out with some Boeing airplanes to add to our fleets, to put in our hangars in the future. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of Airbuses. I will agree with you on that. Now, for someone like me, you can't see it here. It's sitting next to me, but I've got a borderline 1-for-1 to the Airbus throttle quadrant and all the add-ons, spoilers, flaps, all that kind of stuff, as well as a McDo, a 1-for-1 side stick, a 1-for-1 tiller. I got the mini FCU, which I will probably be swapping out with the Wind Wing whenever those come out. And I'm only going to do that because they'll have a right seat EFIS panel available to that. So for me, it works out for me because I do have a lot of Airbus shit. I work for an Airbus carrier. I used to be the biggest Boeing fan in the world, and then once I learned the Airbus and the logic and the way that it minimizes task saturation and makes things just a lot better as far as the quality of life, safety, protections, just the general well thought out logic of the Airbus compared to an airplane like a 737. I really kind of jumped on the Airbus bandwagon, but again, I work at an Airbus carrier, and it benefits myself and my career with the knowledge that I obtained from flying these in a simulator. Let's see, anybody else that I haven't touched on yet? No movement on 991 since leaving Mobile? No, it takes about 4 to 5 days to be inducted. So they're going to install all the seats and all that good stuff. There might be some further mods that have to be installed on the airplane. Because not all Airbuses are the same, right? There's some mods that will come on all Airbuses. Then there's some that there's other mods that the customer will purchase and be installed on the airplane. So I don't know what all they're doing in the induction, other than the seats, because the plane does come with no seats on it. But yeah, no movement yet. I would expect it'll probably be flying in the next 2 to 3 days. I'll buy your Mini from you if you sell it. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I was thinking if I did the Wind Wing, and maybe I would do the Mini FCU as a giveaway. I'm curious to see if it's going to work. with this. I'm running MobiFlight, but I don't have a MobiFlight profile for it. When I ran the mini cockpit data link thing, I have issues with that. So I will say I have a lot of hardware for Airbus, and a lot of it's a pain in the ass just to try to get talk to the sim. So first, let's look a little bit more at the Palm Beach scenery, and then we'll jump into the flight. So first things first that I want to talk about, the terminals are not modeled. Or at least I guess the concourses, right, if we're trying to break it up. So I guess you have the terminal over here that is somewhat modeled, but then the concourses are not. This is not a huge airport. I feel like maybe they could have done some modeling, done some interior work inside the concourses. The airport is about $18-19, which is not incredibly expensive, but there are cheaper airports out there that do have concourses modeled, although they may be a little smaller than this. So I do feel like that's one downfall, is the interior's not modeled, but everything else looks really nice. Got a decent amount of ground clutter, not too much that'll kill frame rates. The ground textures look good, nice, crisp, pristine, clear ground textures, nice signage on the jetways. I can't stand it when I can't read my gate number on a jetway from the airplane. That really annoys the shit out of me. If there is a gate number on the jetway or on the building itself. So I do think it's a good looking airport thus far, but I am a little bit disappointed that there's not an interior in the terminals modeled. Kind of sucks. With that, I guess let's head over this way and look again at the little bit of modeling that there is on the interior. So nothing too crazy. I've flown into Palm Beach one time, a long time ago. Came down, I got a friend of mine that is a captain at FedEx, and he is a board member at Flight Safety International in Vero Beach, Florida. So we flew in together. He arranged a free discovery flight for me to go fly around with an instructor while he handled some board member business. And I don't remember this, but you know, I only flew in. I don't remember if I flew out of here or not, so I can't really remember much. But anyways, at least, you know, we got a little something. It's not terrible, but I feel like if they're gonna at least do this, I would rather have the concourses modeled than this. Blue Mac, I live 15 miles from this airport. Nice, very nice. I live in Orlando, so I'm not too far from you. And I know another gentleman who's a big-time streamer that all of you probably know, who lives in this area as well. So he could probably comment a lot more on it, because I'm sure that he has flown out of here many times, probably every time he flies. One thing I did notice I thought was pretty dope. Ooh, actually, we didn't look at this. Let's come up in here. So we got some animated folks, some static folks. One thing I noticed that's kind of weird to me, not a big deal, but the signs are like they interfere with each other. But whatever. Not a big deal. I don't, outside of doing a first look stream like this, or if you're a content creator, you probably will never look here. Kind of weird. I do think though, like these custom police trucks are pretty dope. They look kind of like, there they are, the Ford Raptors. Pretty cool. Not gonna lie. What, is there anything else specifically that y'all want to see? Anything that caught your eye? The towers modeled. We saw that in the intro. take a quick look in here, see if there's any little Easter eggs, any little small details. I'm trying to slow my camera down. Got us a jet chart that is flipped. Looks like a airport diagram. There we go. There's a chart that's not flipped. You can actually read it. So at least you got that, I guess, if that's something you care about. Let's run over to this side. See if there's anything over here worth looking at. We got NetJets. I wonder if, does NetJets have a base here? I would imagine so. Looks like it. We got the custom buildings. That looks like that is potentially part of, like, maybe one of the jet models from, it's like native to the sim. This one's obviously not. Gulfstream, Jet Aviation, dope ass G650. That just, oh, okay, cool. I did not know that. Pretty neato. Is it NetJets or FlexJet that's having a lot of pilot picketing, potentially going on strike problems? I think it's FlexJet. Let's see the hangars on the south side. Alright, so I guess that would be these, right? Yeah. The beach is to the east, so this would be south. Looks like custom buildings for sure. Some fuel trucks. Yeah, I would agree. It looks decent. NetJet. Oh, it's NetJets. That's. Oh, okay. I thought it was FlexJet. But again, I don't. You know, I live in the Part 121 commercial aviation world, so I don't know a whole lot about the business jet side of things. Oh, flight safety or flight safe. I thought this would be flight safety, but maybe it is just flight safe. Obviously, flight safety is a pretty common business, I guess you could say, that you'd see around and about. We got a windsock. Now, here's my thing with windsocks, because I have seen some airports that somehow have two windsocks, and then interestingly, I've seen them blow in opposite directions at the same time. So it's always a good thing when you don't see that. Okay, I can actually read the signage, but here's the other thing. I've seen some taxiway signs where at night they like blare out too much and you can't read them. Not the case with these. That's good. Some more custom hangars. 150 at 13, gust in 23, 10 statute miles, broken 1500, broken 2200, overcast 19,000, temperatures 23, dew point 21, 2978 on the altimeter. Muchos gracias for the meter. At least we'll know now why the windsock is blowing so hard. Sweet. Last but not least, we'll check out the cargo ramp, and then we're gonna get shit moving. I actually have a Wi-Fi test flight. Oh, never mind, that's Melbourne, not Palm Beach. Disregard. Now, I'm digging this this cargo ramp. We've got enough shit on the ramp that it doesn't kill your frame rates, but it feels like a cargo ramp. Typically, cargo ramps are going to have a lot of shit just chilling. You can fly some A300 flights, hopefully soon. Some PMDG 777 freighter flights into here, maybe. I would highly doubt that you'll find a FedEx 777 out of here, but you never know. I'm not sure who to blame for the windsock problem. Microsoft or yeah. Well, the windsocks, like, so we saw it at San Diego, and that was a Latin VFR airport. I mean, you'd think they would fix that, or maybe it's not them. Who knows? Yeah, I am just really disappointed that, like, that's the terminal, or the concourse. Like, come on, bro. Just, even if it's hollow, like, I've seen some real shitty, dinky airports with, like, the interior of the concourse is not, like, modeled with a lot of shit. It should just be like seats and carpet, but you can at least, like, see into it. This honestly really good. Haven't seen a good PBI. Yeah, I agree. I think there was one by some real shitty, like, Microsoft or MS scenery builders. They suck. Like, don't ever buy anything they make. Their shit might as well be freeware, in my opinion. God, that's it. I love the Spirit livery with the mask. Muy sexito, in my opinion. Do you have the BM World San Diego? It's better than Fort Lauderdale, and has the construction of the new terminal. I might actually, because I know I have two of them. I can't remember which ones I have, but I might actually have the BM World, and that's who make this. By the way, if y'all didn't already know. I should probably put the link in here for you guys, so I will. I didn't even look at pictures of this. It is $17 before taxes and shit. Alright, so let's get into the nitty-gritty good shit, right? First we'll power up the airplane. Now, I don't, unlike the Phoenix, I don't have, like, all the shit set up on my throttle, so we'll be doing everything for the most part with the mouse. And I want to kind of, en route, we're going to dig deep into the small little features to see what difference between Inibuilds and Phoenix. So, battery 1, battery 2, external power. Let things power up for a second. Let's go Debrief. Drop that into there. Ground door open. Is there a... There we go. Toggle jetway. I won't be surprised if the jetway doesn't move. Yeah, because it seems like when I connect the jetway, then I take my drone camera far away and come back and the jetway is disconnected. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is a thing. So we'll just do all that for now. Payload, it's got us in pounds, which is good. We'll come back, cross-check all this stuff after we go through the OFP. Panel states, nice. Takeoff performance, cool. I have gone through and just set this stuff up and configured my throttles. That's all that I've done thus far. Alright, so our typical overhead flow, right? Crew supply, ground control, CVR test. Put that into captains, ADIRS, nav 1, 2, and 3. It's a weird thing. Nav, logo light on. Auto on those. AP fire test. Engine 1 fire test. Engine 2 fire test. Muy bien. Flight director is on. Let's get that over to inches of mercury. Constraints. Go VORs. Same on this side. Cool. Let's see. Just kind of. Oh, I ain't got 22.8 across everything. I'll put some random shit. Just see what we can hear. And honestly, if this was a newer Neo, this would be digital. The radio control panel and the audio control panel would be integrated into one display on both sides. I think I have some pictures of it, so when we get airborne, I'll show y'all some pictures of what that looks like. Anyways, so this is the newer weather radar panel. Obviously, this is quite different from the Phoenix. Being that this is an Inibuilds airplane, I have about a 50% to 60% expectation that there will be some form of weather radar. We do have weather along our route. We should be able to see, so we'll see if this works or not. Very curious about that. But TCAS and auto, I like to do all. Clear this out. We'll put 2000. Going down here, everything else looks good. You can't do a gravity gear extension. This definitely isn't as in depth as their A300. Just that alone tells you that. And you can't test our oxygen either, so that's kind of sucks. Maybe they'll add more as time goes on. Alrighty, let's come down to, actually before we get to that, let's run through our OFP. Alright guys, so today we're going to be Spirit Wings flight 1005. We are on tail, oh that was wrong, that's a typo by me. We're operating on tail 987 NK with a fin number 4987. 23rd of March to 320 Neo, departing Palm Beach, headed to Atlanta. Due to be out at 0705. I'm not going based off of any real time, so whatever. On at 0857, release ID 01. J Queen is our dispatcher as per usual. No MELs, no CDLs, no dispatcher marks. Let's see, our total distance on this flight, 543 nautical miles with an average tailwind of 4 knots. We'll be burning $92 for every 1,000 pounds of gas. We're going to fly a cost index to CI52 at flight level 380. Let's see, our 380 temperature is minus 48 with a triple pause 53,800 feet. Checking our weights. Our weights look good. Departing 10 left. Arriving on runway 10. 1 hour, 19 minutes from wheels up to wheels down. We got our 45 minutes of reserve fuel. We're carrying an alternate of Nashville. We'll call that 3.1. 2.7. And 6.1 on that one. Contingency fuel, got 20 minutes. 1.5. Our men required, oh shit. Men required takeoff fuel is 13.5. 10 minutes of basic extra, that's a company policy fuel, with 400 pounds of taxi fuel gives us a planned gate of 14.6 and a REMF landing with 8.1. Now for quick reference, I like to do my cross here. So our planned gate 14.6 with a REMF of 8.6. Men require takeoff fuel 13.5. Let's get our bingo fuel. So it's going to be 2.7 plus 3.1, This is a bingo of 5.8. And that is we could hold for our 30 minutes of fuel, bug out, and land at our alternate on reserve fuel. Alrighty, continuing on. Oh, it's got step climbs and descents in it. That's why it's so damn long. So it's not as long as it looks. We're going to fly the T-Bird 5 to Matlock, Q77 to MJAMS, M77, Q77, damn it, to Sharks. It's splitting it up because of the step climb, then step descent. Then direct Larry, Lars, SIF 2 arrival. Nashville is the alternate. At our ETA. Calling for 2 miles and missed. Wind 060 at 4. Broken 400 overcast 2000. So not necessarily Autoland conditions, but you can Autoland on a VFR day. It's pretty common too that like every airplane has to do an Autoland every so often. I want to say it's every 90 days, I believe, for the airplane to remain current. And so our system will actually send an auto uplink to the ATSU on the airplane for the pilots, asking them to conduct an Autoland if able. Let's see, what is it right now? 2 statute miles, broken 400. Okay, surface viz is 8, so that won't be any problem. Sweet. Alright, everything looks good to me. Bam. I like it. Now let's do it. Alright, guys. It could be an issue with the windsocks coating then, if San Diego did it and now PBI too. Yeah, possible. J_FSD. Are you Josh and you just changed all your shit or something? I'm sure this is their release candidate. Yeah, probably. J Foot, what's happening, dude? Great to see you, man. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a poll. Let's see what y'all want to do. What time would y'all like to fly? Nighttime, daytime, or dusk? Y'all let me know. Where did you get the Spirit with the mask? Inibuilds. I believe it was on their app, the application. I've had it since the last time it was. They had the 320 in beta. Okie doke. Let's run through things real quick. We'll do our div strip flow. Data AC status, and our nav database is current. IRS monitor, we got 3 greens, looking good there. Initialize request. Flight number NKS 1005. Cost index 52. 38 at minus 48 on the temp. Treble pause is 53,800 feet. Flight plan, PBI departing off of 10 left. On the T-Bird Matlock transition. Insert that. Okay, then it throws in all the en route stuff, which is nice. Alright, so now we'll go to Atlanta. Arrival. ILS 10. SIF 2 star, and the Lars transition for the approach via. Probably should have set up my charts. Alright, so for the approach via DY. Look for any discontinuities. Got a manual there, that's expected. We'll leave that. I don't even know. Let's go. Three, 4, 0. Call it 2 center. Sweet. Alright. Last thing as far as routing goes, I want to check Carmen, Smuggler, Sonic, Ahab, Bagger, T-Bird, Sigmy, Pant, Matlock, Stormy, Wacko, M. James, E. Torch, Larry, Lars, New Whip, Fork, Sith, Tizzy, Fries, Shirt, Remac, Dactyl, Stump. I know this is kind of monotonous, but this is also what you have to do as a real-life pilot and cross-check that every waypoint is in the box that's supposed to be. Cool, like that. Secondary flight plan. Can we actually do a secondary in this airplane? Holy shit, we can. Cool. KPBI. This is going to be for our engine fail. Oh, it doesn't initialize them. NKS 1005. Cost index 52. Minus 48. Pop hop. Secondary PBI departure 10 left. Insert PBI. What is our longest runway? Come back 10 left. No star, no approach via. Insert. Gracias. Performance. Next, 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 next. 150.13. Temperature is 23,2978. Ten left, 216 on the decision altitude. Cool. All right, engine fail set up. PBI, let's hard tune that. Hard tuned init wind data request init tab over our planned 0 fuel weights. In fact, this is probably where I should come here. Payload. So 0 fuel weight 120.5. 120.5. Fuel 14.6. 14.6. Perfect. Apply load. Let's just do fast, I guess. Why is it dinging at us? It's refueling. Cool, we got our fuel. Now that we have our fuel, seatbelt sign on. Fuel panel or fuel pumps can come on. Alrighty. 0 fuel weight 120.5. What do they? We'll do a standard. 0 fuel CG. Okay, so we'll do a standard of 30 for now until we get our actual numbers. 400 on the taxi fuel. Where's this? Bitch, we'll get there. Calm down, airplane. Block fuel is 14.6. Alright, for all of y'all who are new here, route reserve. That is for international flag fuel policy only. This is a domestic flight. This is the kind of shit that pisses me off. In the fucking Inibuilds, 300 is the same way. You can't zero out the route reserve. I'm gonna need to go blow up their fucking forums. That shit is obnoxious. Now, they're all from Europe, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe in Europe they always have a route reserve. I don't know, but that annoys the shit out of me. Because now it's like it's scattering my fuel figures across different categories. I need it all consolidated into one for visibility, task saturation, avoidance type shit. Alternate fuel is 3.1 with a final reserve time. Alright, so if it's calling it 300 pounds, let's take 300 out of our reserve, which would be 2.4. And that will essentially equal our 45 minutes. Why is that not changing? Is this motherfucker in kilos or something? Can't be. How? What in the fuck? Whatever. We shouldn't even have this because we did the wind data uplink. So that's also annoying. Trip wind, got a tail component, 4 knots. Fly-by-wire is the same way. It's like even though you do a wind data uplink, you still got to go put in a trip wind. That makes no sense. Alright, for the engine fail procedure, KPBI, runway 10 left. We'll wait and get our numbers until we have our actual. And I guess we're done boarding since the numbers aren't moving anymore. There's nothing really says like boarding completed or anything. And this is also a little weird to me. Usually 0 fuel weight CG is a bigger number than a gross weight CG. Usually it's like 0.8, 0.9% more than the gross weight CG. But this is a Neo with bigger engines, and that does change the CG quite a bit, so we'll go with it. 23.7. Okay, now takeoff. 10 left. It's dry. (150-13). Outside air temp is 23. 2978. (14.6 minus 400 is 14.2). Force toga. Let's do packs off. Rotation second segment. So runway length, cool, not a problem. Alright, Togo 50, 50, 53. How's max takeoff weight? 182,900 pounds. It's weird. Because max takeoff weight, like, I think structural is like 154.7-ish. Gross weight CG's 29.3 gives us a 0.5 up. And it doesn't give us any thrust reduction, acceleration, climb altitudes, so that's a good time. Default is set to 1500. Touch and zone elevation is 16, so maybe it's around. Oh, airport elevation is 20, so that's where it's getting the 1520 from. Makes sense. Okie dokie, Smokey. 11,000 is our. Yeah, that don't work. That's gonna be our top altitude on the SID. 2978. Oh, that was good. Looking for the flap open. This is also kind of shitty too. How we don't have no fucking terrain radar? Phoenix has it. Fly-by-wire has a workaround. Alright, quick departure brief. So we right seat takeoff aircraft types a 320 for tail strike avoidance. We have no MELs, no CDLs. How are we looking on this pole? No MELs, no CDLs. Weather, mostly no factor. We might have some rain showers on the climb out. Terrain's no factor. We're going to be departing off runway 10 left. And we'll push out nose south, come down to Charlie 8, Charlie, down to Charlie 1. No hot spots. We got one runway to cross. Runway 1432 at Charlie. Our engine fail procedure will be actually it's gonna be standard abort procedures. Anything below 80 knots will be my decision to reject, complete stop, set the park and brake, call flights and stations, analyze situation, call for any income actions, emergency evacuation checklist as required. After 80 knots in the high-speed regime, we're only going to abort for engine fire, engine fail, low-level wind shear, anything that makes it feel like the aircraft's unsafe for takeoff. After V1, we're going to go fly up and pop an engine. We'll speed up, clean up, fly runway heading, sort out the issue, and come back to runway 10 left. If we do come back, we'll be under max landing weight. If all goes as planned, we're going to fly the T-Bird 5 departure, and our initial climb's up to 11,000 feet, and we're squawking 2,000. Cockpit prep checklist. Maintenance log and tails, onboard check, gear pins, covers removed, seatbelt signs on, aviators, nav. Fuel, we need 14.6, got 14.6 on board, altimeter's 2978. It's set, EFB is checked. Wham bam. Sorry to be ignoring the chat, guys. I'm just trying to do this realistically, but get the airplane going and get out of here. Because again, just got home from work. Saw that Palm Beach was out. This airplane was back available. I really wanted to take a look at it for the first time with all of you guys. Let's pull all the things. Yeah, figured. Alright, GSX conked out. I gotta run update, I guess. We'll get the pushback hooked up. Alright. Door closed back there. It is. Beacon light on. Alright. Before start checklist, windows, doors, and slides closed and armed. Beacons on. Thrust levers are in idle. Parking brakes on. And transponder is in auto. Before start checklist is complete. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this thing moving. Brakes released. Clear to push. Or maybe not. Let's go toggle chalks. Bro. I probably don't have a pushback because GSX was originally in its place. There we go. Maybe. Alright, so why is that? Piece of shit. Fighter. So, okay, now it's back to dashes. Alright. Alright, whatever. We'll start and turn out. Looking for more than 25 psi on the bleed air. We got it. Rolling engine 1. Alright, we're going to do a single engine taxi. flaps 2, up 0.5, right there. TA. Yellow from on. Rip to the ground clutter. Oh, you fucking shit me. This has gotta be a joke. Brake set. We'll roll number 2 and we'll just power out. I was doing stuff on my channel and happened to refresh the stream and it changed which account. Ah, okay, interesting. Sim update 15 is coming on Tuesday, right? Yeah, the 26th, I believe. JJ Stevens, is there not? It's not there now. Do you think you can share it on your Discord? Yeah, I'm sure I could do that. But yeah, if you join the Discord, shoot me a DM, I'll send it to you. They got a bunch of them, by the way. My man, Jet Kid, up late tonight, my guy. Yeah, dude. Yeah, worked. Got off of work around 1 a.m. and saw this shit was out. And I was like, you know what? Skipping the gym. Gonna go do a very early morning, last second stream. But dude, great to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. Meant to ask, did you ever get Java Sims McDo working? No. Inibuilds seems to love that route reserve. Yeah. I go ape shit about it every time it's an issue, as you know. Boom, boom, reset our trim. Cool. Alright, can we... I may have fucked myself by turning out. And reverse ain't working, just like the 7.3. We may not be going anywhere. It's set correctly, it just won't go into reverse. It will that way though. Reversers suck. Do, 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 do. So it said Vertical Sim is working on PBI. He announced in Facebook 4 hours ago that he's shelving his, may come back to post terminal construction. Okay. I would buy his shit in a heartbeat, even though I've already bought this. So apparently, reverse thrust has been an issue since the latest. There we go. Since the last beta build or whatever. From what I've been reading, and I'm hoping it hasn't carried over into this. Because like in the calibration, reverse thrust, like it's showing reverse thrust, but when I go into actual reverse, it don't do nothing. Alrighty. App start checklist. NAICE is off. Yellow electric pump is off. Road trim is 0. App start checklist is complete. Mini brief. Gross weight's 134.6. Flaps config 2. Fuel on board 14.1. V1's 150. V2's 153. Top altitude's 11,000 feet. 11,000 is blue. And our first fix is stymie, I guess. Flight controls check. Full up. Full down. Full left. Full right. Rudder. Full left. Oh, that don't work. Full right. Let's try the captain side. Nope, don't work over there either. Tisk, tisk. Alright, we're crossing. Hey, look at that. At least we got some fucking something on the weather radar. I like that. Alrighty, tax checklist. Gross weight comparisons complete. Pitch trim 29.8% CG set, V1, V2 flex. Looking at 150, 150, 153, no flex. Flaps config 2, flight controls checked. Ecam memo, takeoff all green, Ecam status is checked. Predicted moisture is on auto, TCAS code set, TRA, cabin crews advised. Mini brief is complete, taxi checklist complete. Lineup checklist, takeoff runway 10 left is confirmed inside and outside. Fuel, men require takeoff fuel. Is 13.5. We got 14 on board. Engine mode selectors, normal bleed packs are set. Lineup checklist is complete. Got a stiff little wind out there. These clouds should make for quite the scenic departure. Alright guys, get those togas in chat. Get those send it's in chat if you are a member. 'Cause we're about to send the shit out of it. Taking a look at the weather radar. So maybe, now you know what, we're going to go through it because I want to see if there's any windshield effects with rain. Alrighty. Manitoga SRS Autothrust Blue. Eight knots to set. Right gear up. Ugh. Ooh, we are not flying into that. Our route should skirt it. Yeah, that weather's ugly. Like in real life, you would not be flying in the red. At least try not to anyway. So rotate law, like coming out of rotate law, is horrendous. Assuming that's what I just experienced on takeoff. But like I rotated and I was maintaining my pitch, and then all of a sudden, like all the airplane wanted to do was like nose down. It's like you had to give a lot more, like an insane amount of nose up pitch attitude to maintain like a normal decent pitch on the climb out. Speed out star. $38 blue. 10,000. First climb, open climb. Yeah, the rotate law, or coming out of rotate law into normal law, needs a lot of work. A lot of work. Damn it, as you pick up speed, shit gets real quiet. Damn, they ain't got no fucking cabin in this thing? I'm assuming this is a free airplane. So I guess I can't bitch too terribly much. Alright, we'll go autopilot 2. I don't know what to think about it, guys. I mean, like I just said, if it's a free airplane, it's definitely leaps and bounds over the original default Asobo airplane. But at the same time, Inibuilds has this reputation, right? You look at how in-depth they were on their A300 and A310 or whatever. You know, like the wheels or the tires would show deterioration, and you know, you're having to pull maintenance on the airplane and like all the things, right? So then they kind of set the bar for themselves. And then if this is what the release build is going to be, then not super impressed. I think it's good enough that you could fly it on like a virtual airline, like V-Spirit. They're pretty strict on what they allow. I think this will pass good enough for that. And you can fly it on VATSIM, and you know, so far it's fine with autopilot and systems and giving you the shit that you need. But at the same time, just with the the reputation they've built for themselves, for the airplane to come with no cabin, some simple shit like, if I can turn on crew oxygen supply, I should be able to test my oxygen, I think. I mean, those are kind of small things, but as an avid Airbus lover, to me that's, I don't know, it's something that I definitely notice, and it takes away from the immersion a bit. Go back, close. I was looking for. In the U.S., air conditioning would be in Fahrenheit. But anyways, yeah, so that makes sense as to why I can't open the door. But if we want to compare stuff to like Phoenix, this doesn't do anything. Door don't open. I wonder. No, wait, no, disregard. That one don't work. Those are gear pins. So at least you can see those and do that on the checklist. Armrests move. Do the seats move? Nope. The nose wheel steering disconnect does not work. So that's a little obnoxious. Looks like the windows would work. Can't pop out your compass to cross check. Circuit breakers don't work, which, whatever. Gravity gear extension doesn't work. Let's see, can we print anything? Can't do a weather request. Can we print our out off on end times? Does not look like it. I do like that it tracks your UI times. That's pretty nice. I've always wanted this feature in both of the other Airbuses, especially if you're flying for a virtual airline and you have, you're giving yourself a scheduled time of departure. It's always cool to go back and be like, all right, how did I get out on time? What was my taxi time like? So this taxi time was 8 minutes. Shit like that, I do like that. It would be cool if you could print it out, or if just the airplane had print function in general. I'm sure at some point, hopefully, they bring at least like weather request, digital addons. That'd be nice. Dude, and I don't even care if they made like an expert version of this airplane and charged for it. I'd be fine with that. I'd buy the shit out of it. We do have a working footrests. I have, as weird as this sounds and as insignificant as it is, I've always wanted this to work in the Phoenix. Because whenever I get into cruise, I do like to legit scoop my seat back and kick my feet up. In the Phoenix, I can move my seat back and then do it in real life. As stupid as it sounds, I would like to be able to bring my footrest down and then kick my feet up, like physically. So it's kind of cool. Those work. Get a tray table. I like tray tables. It's nice whenever you can paste a checklist. Like we could take this and put it on that. We've done that before with the Phoenix. So you always have the checklist right there in front of you. In real life, I've observed numerous times pilots taking a checklist, sliding it under this clip. A lot of times they won't extend the table all the way out. They'll just pull it. They'll leave this flipped up and then clip the checklist on, and or like the OFP, different things of that nature. How do you get this bitch to go back? Hello. There you go. So just click right here. I guess it's that click spot under the table. You can switch those. That's cool. No terrain radar. That's kind of a huge thing, especially if you're shooting like gnarly ass RMP approaches in mountainous terrain. you definitely want terrain radar. Like, you're not going to fly into Tunkotten with no terrain radar, or Innsbruck, you know, places like that. You really want terrain radar. I'm curious to know if this thing has FMS landing system, which displays an RNAV approach very similarly to an ILS. You would push the ILS push buttons to turn the carrots on, and it'll display the RNAV approach like a like an ILS, with some minor differences. So we'll test that out in the future, see if we got that. What else? But I mean, for a default airplane, because this is going to be an addition, but default airplane to this sim, I guess it's good. It's definitely leaps and bounds better than what initially came out, both not just Airbus but also the 7.8 and the 7.4. I do like that Microsoft Flight Sim is partnering up with like Working Title and Inibuilds to better their default airplanes to at least a level of what someone would expect who is remotely knowledgeable on airplanes. See, is there anything? Oh, we got to turn it off. Is there anything else? What about our sun visors? Do these sun visors work? Hey, at least we got those. They position kind of weird. Just stick your face all the way up here to use them, but they work now. And I guess that is true to the real life airplane, because as you see it, they have it clipping into the clip. A lot of times they won't put it all the way up. They'll kind of have it tilted where it's in their face to block shit. So with that, alright, cool. We can use the window shade even with the EFB on there. That one works as well. That one works. Nice, and get nice and cozy in here. Too bad jump seat don't work. This is typically my seat in the real airplane. This has to be on. If this is not on, then the flight attendants are not being recorded on the cockpit voice recorder, so that is always mandatory to be left on. So even if if I'm flying in the jump seat, I'll have VHF 1 on, I'll have interphone on, I'll be running a little configuration, something of this nature. I'll have my mic off, and then if I need to talk to the pilots, I'll switch that on to interphone, talk to them, turn it back off. Because also too, when we're talking to ground, if I have this on and I'm talking, they can hear me, like ground can hear me, and I cuss a lot, so try to keep it a little quiet. Anyways, let's get caught back up in the chat. Sorry to ignore so much. There's a lot I wanted to look at and cover. Let's get our footrest down, get our chair table out so we can kick back and chill. Armrests out. Yes. Got all the vibes. Phoenix taking notes on the flight radar. And you know, Abdullah, it's great to see you, dude, by the way. What sucks is the weather radar is not available to Phoenix. Inibuilds only has this because they are partnered with Microsoft. It's like an official partnership with Microsoft Flight Sim. So Phoenix, as far as I know, the weather radar is not available to them to even use it if they wanted to, which kind of sucks. It'd be nice to at least like be realistic and have, if you're in mountainous terrain but you also have weather, to have terrain radar on one side, weather radar on the other side. Even if it's just mostly cloud radar, it's something, right? Like, we were able to, as we pitched the airplane, we were able to see more and more of the precip and at least you have something on radar to kind of deviate around. You know, it's a little bit more realistic that way. How does the Microsoft Weather Radar work exactly? I thought it was top-down type, but then wouldn't change. From the way that Robert Randazzo recently described it on that Reveal PMDG 777 Reveal Q&A, he says it's basically a cloud radar. It's not 3D. Hey, there's Orlando. I should have just flew to Orlando. It's not like, to have true working weather radar, you need like essentially 3D weather data, right? So that the weather radar can scan side to side, and you can change the pitch. You know, you can pitch it up and down. So angle it, if you're getting a climb, angle it up, and then it can scan shit like that. So I don't know exactly how it works, but it's like I guess the weather radar is only presented in a 2D kind of way, so it can only be so good. But even still, I would still like to have it. Cal, weather radar shouldn't really be trusted, assuming Asobo still has the weather API locked. Yeah. Yeah, again, you know, it's just something to look at. If you see some red, at least you can pretend like, hey, heavy to extreme precip. We need 10 degrees left for weather, you know, some of that nature. Just to increase the immersion a little bit. Just a little bit. Isn't eventually replacing the Asobo 320? They said that they're going to have both. Just Pilot, good morning to you. Hello to you as well. Welcome, welcome. I think this was supposed to be at the same level of the A310 as it was discussed between them. Could be wrong, but that's what I heard. So, what's the differentiation level between the A310 and the A300? I struggle flying both airplanes, so I hardly ever fly either. So I'm not really up to par, or I don't really know how much more realistic one is versus the other. I know they're both very similar, right? But I do think because the A300 was a payware product versus the A310, I don't think it was a payware product. I think they were able to, you know, they put a lot more detail in the 300, I believe. Jackhead said, just give me the A380 already. Dude, I've never been like just rock hard for the A380, in all honesty. But after watching that little reveal video, I'm quite stoked about it. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to fly in it, because I don't really do long hauls, and I don't really fly outside of the U.S. a whole lot. 38,000 to go. But shit, I'll fly something. We'll make a Spirit Airlines A380 that seats roughly 1,000 passengers. Maybe they plan on working on it as they develop the A380 and A350. Doubt I'll fly this over the Phoenix or fly-by-wire right now, though. I personally think I would fly it over the fly-by-wire. I think. We'll see. We'll see how dependable the systems are. If this thing can shoot an RNAV approach, I'm definitely flying it over the fly-by-wire, because fly-by-wire cannot shoot any sort of RNAV approach. As far as I know, you're stuck with ILS or visual. Alt-star. Or just fly all three. Just giving you the shit that you need, basically. BW Flight Simulation. No hoppies either. Good point. Good point. I did not even think about that. But yeah, that kind of sucks too. It'd be nice to have free text. Have y'all ever used the free text that comes in the fly-by-wire?
Retard.
My man Drew Stone, 2 months in the Your Dispatcher tier. Dude, thank you so much for your support. Greatly appreciate it. As always, you the bomb. thebomb.com. Inibuilds A350. Ooh, and Drew, thank you so much for the METAR. 2 miles, light drizzle, mist, overcast 300. The ceiling's got a little bit lower. Temp is 14, dew point 13. So that temp dew point spread, maybe we'll see that mist and that drizzle kind of turn into a little more fog. I would like that. Inibuilds, A350 is going to be worth it. A380, better wait for that. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, 350s. I'd get. I could get a little turned on over the 350. If I'm choosing between the two, I'm going with the 350. But what I'd be curious about is how much documentation is out there for them to accurately build either one of those two airplanes. I feel like there's probably going to be more documentation on the 380, but you know, it's Inibuilds. Who knows what kind of ties that they have. For Xbox people, this is the best Airbus. Is this going to be on Xbox? Flight Force. Is your McDo working with the Phoenix Block 2 version 2? Because I've like 2 or 3 times only been able to get mine to work. I've reinstalled the drivers that you showed me. I even tried installing some drivers for the mini FCU. The drivers seem very very similar to the ones that you showed me, and it'll like I install the drivers, restart, the FCU or the McDo will work, and then the very next time I try to use it, like I won't even shut the computer off. Like I just restart the sim, doesn't work. In fact, sometimes it'll say that it can't like try a different port, as almost as it's not recognizing the device. But if you go to Device Manager, I see it there. Never changed the cable. The cables remain the same. The ports stay the same. Everything is since you've helped me, and it no worky work. JavaSim, as you probably know, put out an update for the Block 2 version 2, which I downloaded, and I just can't really get it to work. So we're back to mostly square one. Oh, Captain Shaq. Dude, I did not think your ass would still be up this late. But dude, great to see you, man. Welcome, welcome. Airbus Cozy Mode. Yes, sir. Embersticker, good morning. Great to see ya. I'm surprised we got as many people as we've had this early in the morning watching a flight sim stream. But I ain't against it. How goes it, man? It's going good. It's going good. Cruising in the Neo. Let's do some external. God, I love the black mask on the Airbus livery. And again, for you guys who weren't here earlier, 987, I delivered that airplane. I don't know about the sounds. The sounds are kind of odd. It's like they get like loud and then quiet, and then loud and then quiet. See? Isn't that weird? Haven't slept. Been up playing Conflict of Nations and watching TV. I'll pay for this, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you will. I gotta be up early in the morning too. Well, not in the morning, but I gotta be up early compared to my normal start time for going to work. Gotta go get a haircut tomorrow. It's just weird that Microsoft Flight Sim radar was green when you took off and then bright red at 1,000 feet. Yeah, and I think it was all because we were looking up in the atmosphere, and I don't know if maybe it can see the difference. Maybe there is some sort of vertical 3D, I don't know. I don't even know the words, but you would think if there is, though, then that would, all you would have to do like you'd be able to adjust the tilt. Maybe you can. I don't know. Let's see. Well, it would probably tell you plus or minus tilt. Yeah. See, I don't know. It is very weird. It kind of goes against what Rendazzo was saying, right? Bro, I feel like we should be a lot further than this. I guess we're coming up on North Florida. Wish I could like zoom out. Thomas Garcia. Good morning, Blake. Time to go dispatch some PSA planes. Dude, enjoy. I guess since you're on, let's take a look at the weather and see what the weather's doing for you. Let's go charts. We'll do Foreflight. Probably the quickest and easiest. Let's see, flight category. Alright, well, it looks like the eastern half of the United States is definitely, at least the south, yeah, the eastern half is about low IFR. So I'm sure that'll be fun. You got some weather to contend with in the northeast and along the East Coast corridor. That's probably going to drive some airspace flow programs or some FCAs. We're definitely going to get, I don't know how much y'all fly into Florida, but we're going to get, I'm sure, the JAX 5 and the JAX 7 flow control areas that will result in a shit ton of delays. We had it pretty bad today. We got some relatively high tops here just off the coast. I doubt y'all fly anything over the AR routes, the Atlantic routes. Tops up to 35,000. In that spot, just off the coast of Wilmington, 30,000. And if you got any shit going into Boston, Hartford, into this area, obviously you're going to have some light snow, heavy snow, mixed precip. So that's not very fun. Ooh, look at that. That's sexy. 45,000 foot top. And then a whole lot of low IFR. Look at all that pink. Hell yeah. Look at that. Atlanta. Half mile, light drizzle, mist, overcast 200, temperature 13, dew point 12, 2971. Surface viz is 2 miles though. So this must just be like just a quick little dip in the viz. Or like some patchy shallow fog. Probably shallow fog. Got some weather in Cali too. This is going to be the next storm system brewing up right here. Yeah, so Thomas, I'm sure you're going to have a fun day today. Fun. Hopefully it's not too bad. We can make a US yip route for you. Hey, I'd take that. I'd fly it. Fly-by-wire is basically LNAV only. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hopefully it can, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try to let it do an Autoland. if it can even track a localizer and glide slope in the first place. You know, the last time it came out, it couldn't even do that. So yeah, this thing is just mid. So many things don't work. On PC, it's mid. Yeah, I mean, I think the bulk of it for me, if I'm trying to fly it, is going to be LNAV, VNAV. That's my first concern. Second concern is going to be ILS approaches. Third concern is going to be GPS approaches. If you have those three things, at least you can successfully fly it from A to B. Now, how much immersion do you get, and how much do you enjoy it? You know, that remains to be seen, and how in depth of systems that you really want. For someone like me that is like in the nick and crannies of Airbus, doing flows, checklists, briefings, you know, engine fail procedures, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not going to make me as happy as it might make someone else, because I'm going to be annoyed by some of, you know, the things that it doesn't have. Somebody else might be like, shit, yeah, I'll fly this all day over fly-by-wire, something like that. But I think for me, Phoenix is going to be my primary. When I want to mix it up, I'll probably go to this to mix it up here and there. But yeah, and at a minimum, if they do this airplane, then I think they should at least come on with a 321 Neo. Uh-oh. Where are we at? What would it be trying to load? I think we're past Jacksonville. PBI. That's why. Nope, that's New Orleans. Duh. Atlanta. That was weird. Yeah, okay. So we're right over Jacksonville, Mississippi. Mississippi, holy shit. Jacksonville, Florida. Dude, it's late. I'm like not far from my bedtime. So I'm guessing that stutter, that temporary freeze, was to load Jacksonville scenery. That is my guess. That's a pretty big ass sail right off at our 11 o'clock. Tops to 40,000 feet. And we got 45,000 feet on the sail to the west of that. But it looks like the weather is substantially behind, which is about what I would expect from Microsoft Flight Sim. And then that shit's nasty. I heard that if you can do the systems of the A380, you can use it as a base to build systems for the A350 with NSM. Ah, I could see that. It seems like they go pretty hand in hand. Once you're into the Airbus systems, I feel like a lot of it is just how you display similar information. They actively try to make all their planes fly the same, just scaled. Yep, very true. Very true. In fact, they go so far as, like if you're flying, if you have a fleet of A319s, 20s, and 21 COs, so let's say all IE engines, they even derate the engines so that they're all that much more similar to each other. So like the 319 is going to be a lot more derated than a 21. But it'll be closer to a 20. So they try to make them all match and kind of feel the same. But you know, if you listen to V1, he'll say that the 319 is definitely sportier. It's like a little Corvette compared to a 21 type thing. But you got 319 and 320 wings on a 321. And that much bigger, longer fuselage. So of course, the airplane's going to feel a little more different, a little probably sluggisher, I would guess. It definitely can't climb as well. I typically, whenever I'm training dispatchers, I train them to, unless you're like super duper duper uber light, don't even plan a 321 at 380, because most of the time they're going to be too heavy and they can't get up there. Even though the software says they can, they usually can't. And then, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Great episode of Station 19. That sounds like a firefighter show. The sounds definitely work. Yeah, I agree. Fly-by-wire definitely has better sounds. At least the windows seem transparent enough. Yeah, I'd agree. Got the little smudges and shit. I had to take your boat to work this morning. Sounds like my buddies during duck hunting season. Like, we'd go to high school and they'd have their John boats behind the truck, because they'd go hunt for like 2 or 3 hours before going to school. It was pissing rain for hours and finally stopped here. Yeah, I could believe that. I'm sure I got a lot of weather today. What mod is that? I'm running a bunch of mods right now, but what I just opened up is a little program called Flight Events, and it's free. So if you have Foreflight, which this is Foreflight, Foreflight is not at all free. Foreflight is actually very expensive. I get it through work. But Flight Events will allow the simulator and Foreflight to talk to each other. And then you can look at weather, look at turbulence. It'll act just as if you were in a real airplane and you had the transponder on your window. It'll act the same. It'll talk, like it'll do the RAS, runway alert, runway automated alert system. I can't remember, but basically it tells you like entering runway 10 left, that kind of shit. Tells you like when you're approaching a TFR, when you're approaching Class Bravo airspace, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. It acts just like as if you were in a real airplane. When you get lower to the ground, it shows you obstacles on the ground. Let's see if we can tell it. We're going direct to Larry. So we'll click on it, direct to. It will now change the route, and so you can see there's no more route behind us, and it's got us direct to Larry. So now it's also drawing the correct direction on the HSI. Yeah, so we got this big ass sail off to our 1 o'clock, and I don't see no big ass sail out there. Got some traffic flying around though. Stick my head out. Huh. It's all an illusion. I just got like 10 notifications for winter weather advisory. I fucking hate winter. For the next 2 days, jeez. Bring some of that shit here. The last 3 days that we had were unbelievably perfect. Like, not a cloud in the sky. Wake up in the morning, it's like 42 degrees, gets up to like 65 during the day. Ugh. It's phenomenal. If every day was like that, I'd never leave Florida. I only bought the Latin VFR 21 Neo because I haven't heard of anyone developing one. Same. I feel like Phoenix would be doing Neos if they're going to go through everything they're doing for the 320 COs and the 19 and the 21s and Sharklets and all that shit. I feel like that has to be coming. And if that's the case, a study level high fidelity 321 Neo, like, I'll be afraid to turn on the second camera because you might see a boner. No homo. As you can see, just the Horizon mod. Yeah, 321 CO. Systems of 380 and a 350 are extremely similar with minor differences from what I heard. Yeah, I could imagine that. And like, you know, if you're looking at their cockpit and you kind of see the displays, you'll notice a lot of similarity in what's being displayed on those. What I think they should come out with, I think it'd be very beneficial to pilots. You know how the 350 and probably the 382, how it has the keyboard and the tray table? Pilots could use the shit out of that in the 320. Like, when you get a full route, reroute, if you had a way of just like typing that in, bro, it'd be a game changer. If they could type text ACARS messages through that, or send messages through SATCOM doing that, CPDLC using a keyboard, like, that would be game changing for pilots, I believe. I think it drastically reduced task saturation because you'd just be able to type so much quicker and easier and more natively than you would typing into a McDo. Little nav map. No, it is yeah, Foreflight. That's what you said. Ah, okay. Also heard that the A380 is extremely nimble for its size as a super. You know, I wouldn't know. I've never even flown on one. I've seen a few up close, but I've never flown on one. I'm just not the biggest, like, world traveler in the world. Like, I would rather go to Glacier Park, Montana, or Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Zion National Park. Like, there's so many places in the United States I haven't been to yet that are probably a lot easier to get to. So I haven't really gone anywhere outside the United States. I've been to Dominican Republic. I've been to a few places in Canada. I've flown through like Colombia, some other countries, but never really stayed, and never flew any distance that needed the legs of a 380. Now, I got one of my dispatchers, like, he is every letter of the word world traveler. Like, he's got a map at his house and he's got a pin every place he stayed. It's hard to find fucking land that doesn't have a pin in it. Like, the dude has backpacked through Pakistan. Like, bro, you can get paid to do that. It's called military. He's backpacked through Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and, like, would do it for fun. He's been robbed at gunpoint in Brazil. I was like, I'm not surprised. You're almost caught up. You need an energy drink and probably a 12-pack of energy drinks to get through the day. I'm trying to cut down on my energy drinks-ish. Like, keeping it to one a day, I'm doing good. Yesterday I drank 2 because I was struggling. If there was some winter there, oh boy, the traffic would eliminate itself. Everyone in the ditch and no more traffic. Except for me. I'd be able to make it. But even like when I lived in St. Louis, we'd get a lot of snow. People, you know, putting along at 15, 20 miles an hour. And I just come through like 4-wheel drive, 45 miles an hour, got my mud tires. It would kind of help a bit with like funneling that snow out of the tread. Definitely wasn't snow tires, but I was able to hold my own. Now there was one day in St. Louis that it was strictly like just fucking ice. That was a gnarly day. That was super gnarly. Look at that, guys. I am caught up in the chat. Can you believe it? That's the problem with me flying the Airbus, is I get so like into the weeds with all the procedural shit that I fall behind big time on the chat. Let me know if you start having headaches or have gotten past that stage from the energy drinks. I'll let you know. I haven't had any yet. Usually if I get headaches, it's like tension headaches in the back of my neck. Cal said I flew the Headwind A330, which is fine, except during landing I definitely noticed it was a little sensitive. Yep, and agile for an A330. I really had to put in the work to stabilize it. 100% agree. I've streamed it a few times and I had the same problem. You know, as soon as like you go to flare, whatever amount of stick input would have worked prior to getting to that phase of the flight, like no longer, it's like way too much now, out of nowhere, and just the airplane, like you start oscillating and trying to land because it's got so damn sensitive. Yes, 100% agree. Interesting. Haven't we all been robbed in foreign countries? I have not been robbed yet. It probably just jinxed me. I'm knocking on wood. Hopefully if there's any gun pointing, I'm the one pointing the gun back at whoever's trying to rob me. But no, I have not. Alright, where's that weather at? Oh, okay. Wasn't it just a few minutes ago there was like death of red everywhere up here? And another thing to pay attention to. Now there's not an Inibuilds A300 Debrief profile in Debrief yet. But we are supposed to land with 8.1. And we're currently at 8.5. And we're still like 90, about 45, 50 miles from top of descent. But speaking of that, we need to prep the airplane for arrival real quick. It almost like the fly-by-wire wasn't there. Yeah, I do understand. Kenny Myers, top of the morning to ya. Good morning, dude. Great to see you. Welcome, welcome. Some of those Himalayan approaches are wild. Oh shit, no charts. I'd be nervous to do that. Alright, Drew Zone, so as of 0752 Zulu, it's currently that's an old METAR. It's 0908. So that METAR is just a little old. It's probably doing that one because the latest one hasn't, it's been observed, but it's in the process of being observed by the automated weather discriminator at the field and in the process of publishing. So let's go to charts, Atlanta, and let's see what it's saying. Weather 0852 Zulu, so that is current. 320 at 7, half statute mile, light drizzle, mist, overcast 300, temp 13.12, altimeter 2971, surface viz 2 miles. Alright, let's prep the airplane. We got just a few miles to do it. We are planning on ILS. We're going to go auto brake low. I'm going to get rid of our tray table first. Alright, we're going to do our hat flow. So it draws out a little top hat. So I'm going to flight plan, Larry, fix info, KATL10. 5 mile range ring. Rad nav. I think did it go away? I think it did. Alright, so we're not going to worry about any VOR. Prog page. Hey, that is interesting though. There's no ILS frequency or course heading. So we'll come back to that. Prog page. KATL. 10. Perf. Next. 320 at 7. Temperature 13. And 2971. Now, if y'all recall, shut that music up. If y'all recall, a while ago when we looked at the last METAR that said, there you go. See, I told you, Drew. I told you. It was in the process of publishing. But if y'all recall, when we did have that last METAR that reported 2 miles, light drizzle, mist, overcast 300 with a temperature of 13 dew point, or I'm sorry, temperature of 14, dew point of 13, I said that temp dew point spread being so close, maybe this will turn into lower vis. And did it not do it? It did. For those of you who haven't been around for a very while on my channel, when we see, I talk about this every time, when we see a temp dew point spread that's very close together with light winds, you'll typically, that's perfect recipe for obscuration development, so fog, mist, that kind of stuff, and that will lead to lower vis. But a lot of planes seem to wait till very late to have ILS in the RadNav. I haven't noticed that. We'll do it. If it's not tuned in by the time we're getting ready to turn final, we'll manually program it. I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a weird quirk with this fucking airplane. You got to manually tune the ILS. We're gonna do radio. Actually, we're gonna do. Let's see if it'll take it. It does. So if you're shooting an Autoland in the Airbus, your minimum is gonna be no. All right, fuel prediction, 11 minutes of extra fuel. So we're definitely overburning. Although we may have overburned on the taxi a little bit, but we had, that's horseshit. So we had 10 minutes of basic extra right here, plus another 20 minutes of contingency fuel, which gives us a total of 30 minutes. And we have burned through almost 20 minutes of that 30 minutes. That's kind of, at least the fly-by-wire profile does not work very good with the Inibuilds. So if you use the fly-by-wire, I would change the perf factor so that it burns more gas. Maybe do like a +5, something like that. Secondary flight plan, we'll delete the secondary, copy active, and let's put in 9 right. Just to have it in there in case we need to sidestep. Sweet. Okay, so RadNav, we're gonna keep an eye on this because that should be auto-tuned by now, I would think. All right, let's see. Bottom altitude on the star. We're looking at 12,000. Yins, 4,000. Dewey, it's 4,000. So let's do 4,000. Alright, let's see how it handles VNAV on the descent. It's probably the most important for most folks. Still none. Alright, let's brief it up real quick. Flight Force. Hey man, I was talking to you earlier, but I was way behind in the chat. So, real quick, for the Phoenix 2 Block 2 version, or the Phoenix Block 2 version 2, I downloaded the new JavaSim update for that airplane. And my McDo like very intermittently works. Probably 1 out of every 8 or 9, maybe 10 times it works. I've reinstalled the drivers that you showed me. We'll restart the computer. It might work once, if it works at all, and then upon restarting the sim, it won't work anymore. So, have you had any success with your McDo with the Phoenix Block 2 version 2? Who'd that be? Can't tell. Alright, let's talk about it real quick. We're going to be coming in on the Sith 2 arrival. Turbojet aircraft only. Expect to descend via. Clearance Atlanta Center. Approach will assign. Landing runway. Select runway 10. Millennium transition assigned by ATC only. Cool. So I don't think we're using that. No, that's way north. For use when landing east, which we are. When landing west, follow expected Jedi on arrival. Don't care about that. From Tizzy on track 317 to Fries, then on track 275 to Shirt, then on track 275 to Remac, etc., whatever. We're going to do an Autoland, so we're going to do, we'll brief up the ILS Cat 2, Cat 3 approach. So this is the 11-9 Alpha, effective 25th of January. ILS runway 10, Cat 2, Cat 3. Frequencies 111.55 with an identifier of India, Oscar Mike, Oscar. Final approach course is 95 degrees. I'll try to mark this for y'all. So we're here, and then here, and here. Frequency and identifier, final approach course 95. We'll intercept the glide slope at Z-Man at 2700. Cat 3 will refer to minimums. We're going to do an auto land, so we don't have minimums. Touchdown zone elevation is 1,000 feet. MSA around the ARP is 3,100 feet. If we go miss, we'll climb to 1,400 and climb and right turn to 3,000 on heading of 120. And inbound on the AHN VOR radio 222 to iHope DME 36.0 AHN and hold. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. We have a standard 3-degree glide slope. Approach lights Pappy on the right. Minimums. RVR 700. We have that. So we're going to shoot the Autoland. Alright, for runway 10, we got high intensity runway lights, centerline lights, approach lights, touchdown zone lights. We got a couple of notes here, 1 and 3. The glide path angle is 3 degrees, which coincides with the ILS approach. Glide slope. Pappy on the right, it's grooved. RVR is reporting. We got 7,851 feet of usable runway, and it's 150 feet wide. Let's see. When we land, it's going to be a left-hand turnoff. We're going to be parking at Delta 4. So our taxi will expect something along the lines of exit at Sierra Golf 14, Sierra Golf, Sierra Juliet. Actually, no, I don't like that. Sierra Golf to Sierra Charlie, cross Sierra Charlie, uniform, and then to the gate. It's going to be a right seat landing. Aircraft types 320 tail striker points, no MELs, no CDLs, flaps full, auto brake low, full reverse thrust. If any reverse thrust, we probably won't even have reverse thrust. Because we could barely get reverse thrust to work when we were leaving Palm Beach. All right, 2971 is the local. Current weather in Atlanta again, winds 320 at 7, half statute mile, light snow, mist, overcast 3, or I'm sorry, light drizzle, Mist, overcast 300, temperatures 13.12, altimeter 2971, surface visibility is 2 miles. So it's probably not as bad as it's reporting to be. That's usually what that means. We still don't have an ILS frequency. I have no idea if it's accurate, but a lot of planes seem to wait till very late to have ILS and RadNav. Just gonna find out. J-Foot, yes, runway 10. Si, senor. Yeah, I tried today and it didn't work. Yeah, that makes me feel better. If yours is not working, then mine's not either. AJJ, if you're still here, another Java simulator user right there. Me and AJJ were having some conversation about this the other night. I think he's in contact with the owner of JavaSim. So he's been chatting with him, and he brought it up, and the guy said, "It's like, oh, go download the latest update." And I was like, "Well, we did," and it didn't work. Lightspeed, good morning, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Good timing. We are on descent into Atlanta. We got low IFR conditions, half-mile visibility, ceilings at 300 feet, and we're going to try to do an Autoland in the Inibuilds A320 Neo. So look at that. We are right now fueling board 7.9, and we're supposed to be on the ground with 8.1, and we still got a ways to go. So with that said, let's try to save some gas, and let's go to stump. You can't even do a beam points. We'll level off at 11 until we... so the glide path catches back up with us. "9 a.m. for you, wow. So you're about 4 hours ahead." I feel like they changed the McDo so much by making it web-based that it's messing with external McDo's, or at least his software. Going to talk to him on my days off. Man, I would greatly appreciate it. I never could get in touch with that guy because you had to have, I think it was like Facebook Messenger, and I don't have a Facebook account or some shit like that. He may have made some more official avenues to get in touch with him now to like schedule a deal, but I mean, really, I probably should be the one doing that. Just because he's probably gonna be wondering, like, why are you middlemaning? Have him contact me. But nonetheless, dude, I greatly appreciate you. The match, yes, it's nice. Still no frequency. I'm going to try to cut this approach a little bit shorter. And go, we'll get down to 4,000 and then we'll go direct to CT. Might get soupy, ladies and gentlemen. For you are an old man now. No, I came straight home from work. I got off at 1 a.m. and came home to do this. I wanted to take a look at this Inibuilds, the latest version of this Inibuilds 320 Neo with y'all for the first time, and we took a look at the brand new Palm Beach airport for the first time as well. Shit, we're not even gonna be able to cut it short. We'll be at reaching Dewey by the time we get down to 4,000. If we're auto landing, the only question is what will the feet per minute be, right? I guess we're gonna find out. Still no. Alright, I'm gonna plug it in myself. At this point I'm convinced it's never gonna auto tune. I don't know if you have to put in the identifier or not, but I'm gonna try and just see what it does. No. Oh, you fucking son of a bitch. I swear to God. This thing still can't do a fucking ILS. It can get fucked. Okay, that's what that was. In real Airbus, you just have to type it in. It'll figure out what's the frequency and what's the identifier. Alt star. Cool. We'll slow down and then start our turn. It's a nicely drawn out turn. I do like that. Flaps one. Hello. Oh, come on, bro. There we go. Should we land at night or should we keep it how it is? Maybe do a little dusk action. I feel like y'all gonna ask for dusk. Something like that where we can still see the lights. Oh, it's a simulation 2023. Damn right. That's where the CRJ waits until you've passed the last point on the arrival. CRJ, I think you got to tune it yourself in the nav radios. I'm relatively sure. Can it put in fixed rings? Yes. We got a 5-mile ring around Atlanta right now. I don't know what that shit is. Yeah, we got a 5-mile ring around it. So we're on an 18.5-mile funnel. Record it. Alright. Alright, so localizer is alive. On the approach mode. Glide slope looks armed, so we can also arm the second autopilot channel. It'll probably be a little bit before the glide slope catches up with us. We're looking good. Loc. Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1, there we go. Speed, glide slope star, Loc, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2. Looking good. Damn it. I think I hit F4 at some point. It turned my seatbelt sign off. Now, realistically, this airplane wouldn't have been showing glide slope star that early. It wouldn't start showing it at least until the glide slope's active and starting to come down. We'll go 170 to 7. Alright, we're recording. Where's my glide slope? There it goes, glide slope. Looking good, looking good. We'll activate and confirm. We already managed our selected speed. And we can go flaps 2. Light speed, I was doing like a flight control replay recording. Shadow Dark, what's up, dude? Why am I awake? Because Palm Beach scenery just came out. And the Inibuilds A320 Neo is back in the beta build, and it's like, yo, I got to see what this shit looks like. Got to see how good all of it is. So here we are. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see y'all on the ground. And remember, we don't have reverse thrust in the Inibuilds 320. So we'll probably just be breaking it. And we are auto landing as well. See y'all on the ground.
1,000.
Jim. Great Scott, you're streaming. Yeah, man. Just a few more minutes. 4 miles out. In case I need to take over, make sure I can click that button. We're 500 feet off the ground.
$300. $200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, retard.
What happened to my auto brakes? Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little bit right of center line. That probably would not have passed a real world certification. But it got us down safely on the runway, touching down almost 300 feet per minute. It's not much of a straightaway for me, but I'll clean this bitch up. So we're just gonna stop the airplane. Some interesting water effects off the tires. Why the fuck did it do that? I forgot my microphone was not unmuted. Shadow, what the fuck were you racing? Doing good. I have a race in like 5 hours. What are you gonna be racing? But yeah, you know, oddly enough, here I am awake doing this shit. For an Autoland, seemed perfectly fine. Now, I'll agree with you in the sim, but real life, I don't think that would pass. That's when you got lives in the back behind you, and those lives are relying on getting that center line. Like, it should be relatively on center line for real life, I believe. Hope nobody's coming, because we're crossing. I'm just waiting for something to come out of the rain and just fucking smack us. Alright, if he just went, we should be good to cross. The other thing that's not as fun about this version compared to the CO is if you have a butt kicker, the CO rumbles a hell of a lot more. Get out of my gate, boy. Well, I got a marshaller there whenever I got the thingamajigga in front of me. Alright, brake set. Shut down 2, 1. Fuck you. Now that's horse shit. Fuel on board 6.4 is gonna give me a fuel low wing tank low level. That's not accurate. Min fueling for us in a 320 Neo is to land with 4.6, and we got 6.4. So not realistic at all. At all. Oh, iRacing. I thought you like racing some real shit in real life. "12-hour Sebring iRacing today." Jesus, that's a long time to be racing. But Buckeye Fly, how you doing, man? It's great to see you. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're able to join us. This is Delta Country. Yes, sir, it is. Got yellow bananas all up in the blue and maroon. Alright, guys. Well, nothing else to do now other than play the replay. And then I need to go to... I should have been in bed like an hour ago. But you know, I love you guys. Let's motherfucker play. Get rid of my ugly face so y'all can enjoy the cinematics. Punch it, man. Southwest taxi it. Yeah, I guess Buckeye does know. 'Cause when he said that, I figured that's what he's talking about. You just got done doing too. So the light speed, the Autoland got negative like 291, something like that. I really wish I could zoom out. I mean, other than the center line, I think it did a pretty good job. But at the same time, too, who knows if the localizer is even correct? You know, we see how off shit gets in Las Vegas with like how its ILS is. Like its glide slope is super far off. So who even knows, you know, what the localizer's doing here. Alright, we're gonna get 2 more views, then I'm gonna call it a night. Losing an hour of sleep. Actually, I think 2 hours of sleep to go get a damn haircut. Whoa. Now it says -14. My ass. Alright, let's see. Let's figure out what's going to be the best. Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all coming to hang out this early in the morning. If you haven't done so already, please smash that like button. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And it definitely helps the algorithm. Helps bring more folks to our community and come and hang out on a super spur of the moment streams that last from 3 in the morning until 6 in the morning. But yeah, I work the next 4 days. So the next stream, unless we do some weird shit like this, the next stream will be likely on Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope y'all drink some cold ones. Think about me when you do, because I will be stranded at the workplace, unable to drink anything. And also, as always, huge shout out to all of the channel members. Thank y'all so much for your continued support. You guys are fucking amazing. Was fun, this really early / late stream. I agree. I enjoyed the shit out of this myself. I'm glad I was able to take this first look with you guys. It's always fun doing these streams with y'all. SpaghettiOs. Dude, I'm actually kind of hungry right now. You're gonna make me really hungry. But guys, I hope y'all have a great weekend. And until next time, as always, be good at it. Keep it on the wrong side, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.